to shrink a bit.
Not because of the oil exposure, I don't think. Because of the rest of the book is so much bigger that, you know, you're going to have businesses that are really starting to have trouble. That's, you know, I know JP Morgan, all they want to be, you know, they want to be a good partner, but at some point, you know, you don't want to extend credit that you don't think you're going to get back. So that's what I think was weighing a lot, plus rates. And the market that was down.
I think today was the big fear day, right? I mean, everyone felt afraid. You had so much of that set up last night when you're watching the futures limit down. And then when you hear Governor Cuomo, though, I think he put it in perspective rather well when he said we're battling more fear than the virus. And I think we're not scientists, we're not MDs, but to me it seems like the market's trying to factor all of this in, and I don't know where the chips finally fall, but it seems a little overdone to me.
You know,
well, listen, Steve, fine, but we just had, you heard Wilf and Sarah say it, that the Prime Minister of Italy is trying to shut down the entire nation. Right, I think it's the ninth biggest economy in the world. So let me just real quick. So I think what Wilf is saying though too is that countries are trying to outdo each other with what they're shutting down. It's the same thing with S&P 500 companies. They're shutting down visitors. They're shutting down cafeterias. And if you don't shut down, you seem like you're being cavalier, and God forbid something happens and you're to blame for it.
Yeah.
So I think we're in a race to shut down the world.
Fair enough, but that's not for us to judge here. Our job here is to analyze the economic backdrop, Guidami, and say, if we see a significant reduction in travel, driving, commuting to work, an economic slowdown, we have no idea what growth rates are going to be, if we have growth, and what corporate earnings are going to be. And maybe this is a stock market that reflected the idea that simply they don't know anything.
Yeah, I hear what Steve is saying, 100%, and we have a lot of time tonight, which is good. I mean, I think the coronavirus, a lot of people say it's the cause. That's fine. Everybody's entitled. I think it just was sort of the final match on what has been a tinderbox, and that set it off. With that said, you know, the S&P 500, I think at today's close is down 19 or so percent from the recent all-time high. It's a pretty big number. People say the market's cheaper now. That might be true. I'd push back and say I can make an argument, and I'm not, again, I don't know this, but I can make an argument that stocks might actually be more expensive today than they were at the all-time high.
Because we don't know any of the multiples.
How can you possibly, now I'll say this quickly, 73% of this economy is driven by people buying things, going places. People are not going places. Listen, I want to go to my conference in Chicago at the end of the month. It got canceled. That's real. That's happening. So I don't think we can sit here and say, I don't think anybody's trying to do it, but we have no idea what's going to happen to earnings.
And you know, 165, 166, which is where we were last year and where consensus is. I mean, first of all, I think we're lucky. And I'll leave it ultimately to the strategists that are making a call on S&P earnings, but you can't tell me we're going to grow 3 or 4% in a revised downward. I mean, we're talking about a major contraction.
Do you think we can track?
Yes, I do think we contract, and that's even in the construct that we're in now. So we're all talking about the lack of uncertainty about the duration of this. The other thing about the market, I think we're all saying this, what is notable to me though, despite what's implied on coronavirus here, is that I don't think today's move in the markets felt very coronavirus at all. We weren't really talking about the virus. We weren't talking about politicians around the world. Yes, Italy took northern Italy and basically quarantined it. And yes, New York State and other states are doing dramatic things. Schools are closing. But the market's move was set in motion by OPEC and Saudi, basically playing Russian roulette. And I think Putin's got an ability to play this game longer than the Saudis do. And this is the construct in which the markets came into today. And then